You mentioned Himalayan salt earlier, and I kind of went down this rabbit hole a couple of years ago and got really extreme, like only white salt. You know, for years I was using Himalayan pig salt, and then I heard or I saw charts online. I don't know if they're accurate of the heavy metal composition of different colored salts, whether it's gray salt or pink salt and whatever. So one of the listeners asked, is Himalayan salt full of iron and heavy metals?
Yeah, it's a good question. The marketing of Himalayan salt talks about how it has 84 minerals, in it, and such. And when you start to look at the analysis of the chemical compounds of Himalayan salt, for the most part, it's 97% of it is sodium chloride. So when you look at this other couple percentage points and you divide that by 84, and you start looking at the word trace minerals, you're looking at 0.0000 something of some type of mineral. And to your listeners' question, some of those minerals or metals, if you will, aren't water soluble. So those sediments, especially breathing it in, is why we don't use that. Now, from a digestive system, you want to make sure that you are getting food grade Himalayan salt, or for that matter, other salts that are harvested, and what they are. In the Himalayan salt, which is actually in Pakistan, in the foothills, the redder the salt, the more iron it is. And that's why when you mine Himalayan salt, there's white Himalayan salt at the top of the mines. And as you start getting deeper into the mine, it gets darker and darker. And so there's different levels of some of those elements. And like I said, there's food quality, but the amount of those trace minerals adding up, you really got to eat a lot of salt for some of that to not be okay. I will caution your listeners that you also want to understand where it comes from, because a lot of the salt mines around the world use child labor. And if you're into sustainability and you're into doing the right stuff, you may want to check some of that out. That's what we do.
Wow. And I've heard even explosives, right? Like I don't know if it's really C4.
Yeah, there's some mine, they're using dynamite and blasting, and there's others that core it out. A lot of salt is harvested in salt beds, and there's a process for, harvesting salt off the sea. I just was in Croatia earlier this year and was through a couple towns that were making their own salt, if you will, through evaporation and through the sea salt and how to create that. And I mean, there's books on salt and utilizing salt. There's hundreds of salt and smoked salt and salt mixed with things. And, people are using Himalayan salt bricks to cook on. That's a cool thing where you can heat it up on your grill and it doesn't add that much salt to it, but it's kind of a cool presentation and flavor. There's those that serve sushi on cold Himalayan salt bricks or ice cream. And so there's a commercial side to it. We actually have shot glasses made out of Himalayan salt. So when you put tequila in, you get a little bit of that salt flavor on your lips, and drinking tequila out of shot glasses made out of salt.
I got to try one of those. That's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I've done the wooden plank salmon, cooking, but not with salt. That's on the list.